Hey guys, so I just want to give you a minute to see if you guys are gonna come join. Just one sec. But what I want to talk about today is being spiritual and wildly successful, because I've heard just too many people really feel like being a, say that being a spiritual entrepreneur limits you in some way, that it's different than other types of business, or that somehow it's looked upon differently, or you can't make the same level of money as a healer or a spiritual coach or a psychic or a teacher in this realm. And I 100% stand for the opposite. And that's, I feel like one of my missions on this planet is to change that paradigm. And for you guys who are spiritual entrepreneurs, if you're not making the level of income that you really, really would love to make, because you feel like that's either not, it isn't spiritual enough, hey Tabitha, or it's, not possible, there's a lot of probably different blocks around it, but you are meant to think, the way that I look at it is, if you are a spiritually based entrepreneur, you're highly connected, you bring a high vibration to this planet, and your work serves large amounts of people, and you make a lot of money, you're also making, with that large income, a huge impact. And you're also breaking those old, beliefs and cultural paradigms that you can't, be a spiritual person, make a lot of money. And that's, from old, it actually goes back to like religion, and, it's, for healers, they shouldn't charge for their services, yet healers on this planet are, really, really important. They can do things, such as, for me, like I do DNA activations, which awaken people's psychic gifts. There's so many different things you can do with energy and healing. And then you look at, intuitives and coaches, the same thing, right? These are people who are literally changing lives, making a massive impact on the planet, helping people with transformation. And they should really be paid well for their work. So if you look at it from yourself, if you're a spiritual entrepreneur and you're not charging what you're worth, and you're really not showing up fully, and you still have all these money blocks and beliefs, and you're, some of the things I've heard is, oh, I just want a simple life or whatever, and that's fine. But a lot of times it's really not that somebody doesn't, really truly wants just a simple life, or they don't need money. It's often that you just don't believe you can have it, so it becomes something that you get attached to. And, maybe you believe people with money are not good people. But the truth is, a lot of very spiritual people now do have money. Oprah, is very much into spirituality. Byron Katie has money. A lot of the spiritual teachers have actually done really, really well, and they are seven-figure earners, or in Oprah's case, I don't know if she's like 9 figures or something like that a year. So it's really realizing the places that you are still playing small, and the places that your beliefs are not going to even allow you to keep growing. It's not going to allow you to have a $500,000 a year, or $1 million, or $3 million a year empire if you believe that you're not going to be able to, be a good person, or that, there's something else that'll happen to you if you go big and you serve on a bigger level, and you serve on your highest level, and you charge what you're worth. Yeah, there might be some people, if you're giving everything away for $40 a session and you're really worth 500, when you raise your prices to 500, yeah, there are going to be some people who might argue with you or say things, but that is their stuff. So the people who say, it's not spiritual to charge for healing, yes, that, they're in a victim mentality. There is definitely, that type of mindset out there in the world, and you can't change every single person's mindset. Some people are going to want to keep it. Some people are going to want to stay in poverty consciousness. But, for myself, helping, spiritual entrepreneurs shift out of those type of mentalities and shift their money and their wealth consciousness is really, really important to me. Yet, I understand if somebody isn't really ready to go there as well. So you have to, be willing to know that not everybody can be your client. Not everybody is ready for the transformation that you offer, but that there are always people who are ready to hear you, and they need to hear your message, and they need your work, and they need to, they actually need to be in your energy, and they need to have that contact with you and that transformation. And if you're doing it at a price that really doesn't serve you, you're not going to even attract in the right people, to be honest. You have to serve at your highest level to have the most transformation for people. And if you're not charging anything near what you're worth, or anything near what feels really right to you because you're afraid people won't pay, or you have all this old stuff, that is always going to hold you back from, really having the business, the life, you know, even the freedom, like if you think about the emotional, mental, you know, sort of chains that there are, if you believe, you know, that there's no one out there that can afford you or that would pay you, or that, you know, you have to pretty much sacrifice yourself all the time for other people, those beliefs are going to hold you back, and they're going to drain you energetically, and they're going to lower your vibration. So it's really, really important to be willing to own that there are people out there that really need to work with you. And yes, you can have ways that are somewhat, you know, lower price, but you also need to have your highest level transformations out there. So ways that you can truly impact people in such a deep way that they are forever transformed, because the world is looking for transformation. People are getting bored by like the cookie cutter stuff, by like, you know, what's out there, and people are looking for deep and personal transformations. So if you're able to offer that, that comes generally with a much higher price tag, and you're going to have to move through some of that old poverty and, you know, healer consciousness that tells you, hey, I've got to play small. Hey, like I'm limited by, thank you, Katrina. She says very true. You know, I'm limited by some of the old stories, or people, you know, people are going to tell you that. People are going to say, there are broke people out there, and there are people with poverty consciousness. So people, no matter what your price point is, someone's going to say it's too much, probably. That is not your problem. Your business is really to just show up and to charge something that feels right, like a fair energetic exchange for very high level transformation for people. Because like I was saying, you know, the world is looking for that. And I feel like so many of you guys out there, Katrina's amazing too, actually. Her healing is, you know, who knows, it's probably worth millions of dollars, that level of transformation that someone like Katrina as a healer provides. But, you know, your healing may be worth millions of dollars. Do I say to charge millions of dollars? No, you know, you want to find that happy medium where it feels like a fair enough energetic exchange. You'll never be able to truly charge what you're worth, because our worth is, honestly, you can't put a monetary value in something like that. But you want to show up, you want to charge something that feels good to you, because most healers, intuitives, even coaches that I've known are charging prices that just don't actually feel that good, but they feel like people will pay it. And then there is some level of feeling, you know, they're taken advantage of, or like, you know, undervalued, or like you're over giving. And you don't want that. You really do want it to be the cleanest exchange possible. And the best way to do that is to create programs that actually offer the highest level transformation you ever can do, and charge prices that are fair for them. So that's like, you know, the long about way to the point of this Facebook Live. And I'm going to come back on and do a little bit of psychic biz coaching in a different one, because I like it to keep them short so people can, you know, watch the whole thing and not feel like they have to give up a whole afternoon to me to do so. All right, guys. Love you all. Talk soon.